This is gonna be a tough one, guys. Today, it's time for an update on my Cosmos investment challenge. I started this a bit over a year ago, and a bit over a year ago was before Terra collapsed, before FTX collapsed, before USDC depacked. We've gone through a lot over the past year, but I never lost hope. I'm here to stay, and I'm fundamentally convinced that especially Cosmos is still severely underrated and has huge potentials. That's why I'm gonna give you an update, even though the numbers really hurt, but I'm here to stay. And I hope you can take some inspiration for that. Of course, remember that the purpose of this challenge is not to give you financial advice. You're old and mature enough to take full responsibility and full accountability of your own personal finances. But this video series can probably help you to be on top of the things when it comes to Cosmos, interchain applications, how to use IBC, how you can use certain applications, how you can provide liquidity, how do you stake, how do you choose your validator, all these kind of things, right? And most importantly, how to do airdrops in Cosmos. I think we should just go into my current portfolio. Position number one, my favorite chain in Cosmos, the Cosmos Hub Atom. And the Cosmos Hub Atom has long time been seeking for a use case, but it's finally here. Replicated security launched. The first consumer chain, which is going to be Neutron, drafted their proposal on the forum for everybody to review, and it's going to go on chain very, very soon, which means this is the first consumer chain that will rent security from the Atom community, basically from the Cosmos Hub validator set, right? That's a game changer. It's a killer application for Atom, which is why my conviction in Atom has never been higher than now. The community is there, it's active, governance is alive, there's more interchain services coming up, communications has improved massively, which you can see if you follow at Cosmos Hub on Twitter, and also staking APRs have gone up, right? Currently, I'm down bad, of course. For my first purchase I made at $27, we're down roughly 60%, and my average entry is actually higher than that. It's $37. Why is that? Well, that's because of impermanent loss, because I had some liquidity on Osmosis. I still have liquidity on Osmosis. It's a tiny percentage, but still it has been taking away some of my atoms, unfortunately. Osmosis, I still have a liquidity there with the Atom Osmo pair. And also I have a pool on Windex, which is a new DEX on Juno network. Now that Juno swap is kind of like discontinued, it seems, there's not much development going on there. So Windex stepped up, which is a DEX built by Confio. Basically, Ethan Frey has been taking the lead there, the godfather of CosmWasm. But again, as I said, I'm beyond bullish on Atom. $11.22 right now, still holding up relatively strong, but replicated securities here. Neutron is coming. Noble just launched mainnet, the native asset issuance chain for Cosmos, and they are going to migrate onto a Cosmos Hub consumer chain as well, right? Stride as well, which is a liquid staking protocol, they will be migrating as a consumer chain as well. So we have a lot of cool chains that migrate, which means in the future, Atom stakers would earn rewards through transaction fees, but also just general revenue shares from these chains that are migrating to the Cosmos Hub, right? And Stride, Noble, and Neutron are already some big names, right? So holding strong, compounding, and collecting more Atom here. My next chain is FMOS, Ethereum on Cosmos, has been the star in my portfolio for a long time, but it's entirely crashed. My first purchase was $1.69, down 80% from that. Average entry is 60 cents because I averaged it down through compounding, since the staking APRs, as you can see, 83% are quite high. So my strategy is here to just stake and compound. Been saying this since the beginning. FMOS urgently needs TVL. They urgently need an application to attract volumes, liquidity, real users, right? Because they do have users, but these users are right now just stakers, restakers, compounders, right? They could be, however, converted into actual protocol users, right? But currently there is no killer application on FMOS, which is really unfortunate. However, there's hope. There's stuff on the horizon that's coming up. Forge, which is a DEX that's being built by the Orbital Apes team, is coming. Which is going to be, as of my understanding, a Uni v3 fork, because Uni v3 has been under license protection but that expires April 1st. And I think that's opening a lot of the gates for other networks to absorb some of that technical innovation, at least. Still holding strong, even though I'm down bad, 45% from my average entry, but I'm still compounding. 82% is still great. Next up, Juno network. Juno, also another one that's been almost dying. I mean, 97% from the top at $34, and it even was much higher than that. It was at 45 or something like that. Got my average entry down to $5.73 thanks to compounding and staking and buying the dip also. I bought actually the dip here. There's not much you can do. When you buy the dip and it keeps on dipping, you just buy more, right? So that's one that I am looking to also deploy more capital. Actually, the same for Atom, because Atom is just a no-brainer in my opinion. Juno, 31.8% staking APR, still good. As I mentioned, Windex is pretty good, amazing UX, UI. They also onboarded a great amount of users and traction, and they have their own branding. They have their smooth UI and UX when it comes to also IBC transfers, adding liquidity, farming, the game theory is all right. Windex is cool, and I migrated all my liquidity from JunoSwap onto Windex. That said, let's move on to the DEX in Cosmos, which is Osmosis, right? Osmo. However, the Osmo token has been suffering a lot. It went down 91% from my first purchase at $9, and after that it went up to $12 actually. My average entry is $1.70 because I cost averaged down. I bought dip, I staked and compounded and all these kind of things. Only down 53% right now, but Osmo, in my opinion, has never been stronger. There's a lot of stuff that's been coming in the past and a lot more that's still to come. UX constantly improves. They have also MOS protocol that landed now that has a very slow and conservative rollout, but that's amazing. There's going to be more applications. There's going to be also mesh security, which is a form of shared security coming, co-development, I should say, with Juno network and Axelar. So that's really cool. Next up, we have Stargaz, the NFT platform in Cosmos. Amazing projects, amazing team, constantly been improving their UX, UI. I'm not the biggest NFT guy, to be honest, but Stargaz is cool. And Bad Kids are the Bored Apes of Cosmos. They already have this cult status, and they're a must-have if you're a cosmonaut. You need to have a Bad Kid. They also just airdropped Bit Kits to any Bad Kid holder, which is really cool. But when it comes to the Stars token, absolutely wrecked. 95% from my first purchase. At 32 cents, I think it went even almost around 50 cents after that. I cost average down to 5.8 cents. Currently we're at 1.6 cents though, which is completely nuts. Like that's insane. But that happens, of course, right? That's part of the crypto games. Fundamentally, however, I don't really understand like why you would sell it at this price. I just keep staking, compounding, actually looking to also add to my position here if the time is alright, but I also don't want to like constantly buy, because this is also like not the purpose of this challenge, is not to maximize profits here, but it's rather to just share a little bit of my philosophy, how I go about investing, and more so to share about what is going on with these projects and how do you navigate through the interchain, right? So strongly recommend you to play around with T standard, which is really cool. And I think NFTs in gaming in general in Cosmos is just getting started. Next up is one of the problem childs, I would say, on my list, Secret Network. They haven't been moving a lot. I think there's also been some internal differences there, team-wise. But yeah, Secret, really love them for their philosophy, private smart contracts, privacy first, right? That's a cool narrative. I really like that. They also have a lot of applications that are live, like Secret Swap. They also have some NFT marketplaces, right? Like Stash, for example. 23.3% is the current staking APR, but I'm down bad on that one, right? And I bought a little bit on the dip, but still down 76%, 77%, with an average entry of $2.69 and currently at 62 cents, right? By the way, none of the chains that I mentioned, none of the coins that I mentioned, do I think that you should ape into, right? I think it's more about having a diverse portfolio, with Atom and Osmo probably being the biggest positions. Also, be sure to not chase yields too much. Be conservative, just natively stake on chain, choose your validator wisely, based on some criteria that you personally think are important, just forget about it, right? And stake and compound. And if it dips, you buy more, right? Unless fundamentals have changed, then you need to update your views and you need to take action based on that. But that's not the case, also not for my last position in this portfolio here, which is XPRT Persistence, the liquid staking hub of Cosmos. Also down bad. That was the last position I added to my portfolio, I think around Evmos, the last or the second last. Staking APR has dropped, currently at 27.6%. But Dexter, which is a DEX that just went live on Persistence, just went live, and SDK Atom finally went live. So PStack launched on Persistence, and those are the two killer apps for Persistence. So now it's all about gaining traction, rolling out liquidity, generating users, generating protocol revenue. And I think there might also be some lessons learned from Stride that has been first mover here. Always great to see more competitors, and Persistence is still amazing. So nothing has changed around that. Now let's actually look into comparisons of my portfolio. If I would not have done anything versus through my active management, this is what would have happened if I would not have done anything, right? Minus pretty much 80% from 10,000 to 2,000 at an absolute peak over the past 3 months at 2,600. So down pretty much 73.3%. That would have been boring, but at the same time, I would also not have spent any time on that, right? Versus my investments of $3,000 that I put into the market over the past year, and through staking and compounding and all these kind of things, right? 79% versus 66% doesn't seem too crazy, but when these numbers turn around, you're going to see the difference that it makes, right? This is quite amazing. And then the peak, we were almost at $6,000, which means we were almost at 50% loss versus 73% that I mentioned earlier, right? Airdrops, another exciting topic in Cosmos. I collected quite a few airdrops recently in the past few months. So we got the raw airdrop, which was worth $50, Gelato, Jackal, Tori, Rebus. And most recently, we got the Stride airdrop. So that was a really nice one, not just because the airdrop value of Stride itself, because Stride is quite mooning right now at 93 cents. That means a $26 airdrop, which I'm staking at 16% APR. But also, I got a allocation of ST assets, right? So Stride is also a liquid staking protocol. And the fact that I staked my Stride tokens when I got the airdrop made me eligible to get a share of the commissions that the Stride protocol is charging when onboarding new tokens. And I almost got one full atom for that, 0.97 ST atom. I got a little bit of ST Evmos, ST Juno, Luna, ST Osmo, ST Stars, and Stride itself. There's more coming up. Atom, in my opinion, still the base for many airdrops. We just saw the Arbitrum airdrop in Ethereum, which was one that has been anticipated for a long time and made a lot of people a lot of money, at least 4 digits, which, to be honest, in Cosmos, we got spoiled with airdrops last year, left and right. 4-digit airdrops, 5-digit airdrops all the time, right? So it's great to see that Ethereum folks also get some nice airdrops these days. But I think in Cosmos, we're going to see another phase of airdrops coming up, right? Quicksilver, for example, you can already check your airdrop allocation for your Stargaz airdrop, which is just one of many chains that you get an airdrop for, and that's also just the first one. There will be many, many airdrops moving forward. Neutron, they mentioned it in the proposal, there's going to be an allocation reserved for the Atom community. We still don't know, however, how much, to whom exactly. Is it just stakers? Is it voters of Proposal 72, holders as well? What actions do need to be taken? Neither do we know how much percentage of the Genesis supply is reserved for an airdrop. Same for Nomic, actually. Nomic is also having a second airdrop, which apparently I'm eligible for here with my wallet. So I will be completing these tasks. I will also leave you a link in the description how you can do that. It requires a little bit of time, but it also makes you use the product, right? Which is the point of Nomic. Nomic, by the way, for those that don't know, is a trust mitigated Bitcoin bridge to bring Bitcoin into Cosmos, which is really, really cool. And it's quite in stealth mode still, but I think they will be coming out soon with more and more features, also lowering deposit fee, which is currently at 20%, and much more, right? And it enables you also to earn Satoshis, sats, for staking NOM. So that's cool. By the way, you can also stake your NOM with Cryptocito. You can also stake your Quicksilver with Cryptocito. also your Stride with Cryptocito, your Atom, your Osmo, your Juno, everything pretty much, except for Secret, I think, as of now. And that's it. And I think there's more to come. There's also the Archway airdrop, which is coming up. It's also an exciting project, and many, many more, right? I hope you like that update. Follow me here on Twitter as well, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and be good.